Compact table is an algorithm that was based on the idea of simple tabular reduction, but instead of using for loops, it will use bitwise operations to make the operations more efficient. It was published and described in these algorithms, and I was one of the co-authors of this algorithm. So for introducing compact table, I will just use a flipped representation of the table. So you've got the table is represented with the variable here, and you've got all the tuple IDs, indices represented here horizontally. Okay. So initially, for compact table, we compute for every literal a bit set that represents the support for that literal. So, for instance, for the literal x1, you've got a bit set to 1 for this tuple. Okay, why? Because you see that x is equal to 1 for this tuple, x is equal to 1 for this tuple. That's it. Okay, all the rest is 0 everywhere. And we do that for every pair of literal. As soon as you've got for the corresponding variable and corresponding value the value, you've set it to 1, otherwise it's 0. You pre-compute that initially in compact table, so a bit set for every literal initially according to the domains, okay, for every variable value in the domains initially according to the table. So you pre-compute the bit sets like this for all the literals up to z5, okay, the third variable and the last value. And again, you see that here we set the bit for z5 to 1 because you've got a 1 here. You've got a 5 here, okay? Because you've got a 5 here, you set the bit here to 1 for z5. So you pre-compute that for every pair of variable value initially. You do it only once. So for instance, you do it in the constructor of a compact table. And you are interested to compute the valid tuples, okay? And the valid tuples will also be a bit vector with a bit set to 1 if the tuple is valid or not. And so you can compute based on the support bit set using this logical formula, okay? With AND and OR and bitwise OR. With this logical formula, you can compute the bit set of the valid tuples. Okay. Of course, you've got a disjunction here. Okay. You've got a disjunction because x can be equal to 1, x can be equal to 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. You don't know which one it will be because 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all in the domains of x. So you do a logical OR here, a logical OR between the bit sets. And of course, you need to get a support for all the variables. So you've got a logical AND with all the possibilities for y and for all the possibilities for z. And at the end, you've got a bit set that is called valid tuples that represent the supported tuples for your table according to the current domains for the variables. Of course, you know that doing this is much more efficient than using a for loop, right? And in particular, just to discuss a little bit about the implementation, you see that here I have bunch of 4 bits here, and this bunch of 4 bits, normally they would be 32 bits, okay? It's just for the sake of representation here, because I've got a limited space on my slide. I use packets of 4 bits, but normally it would be 32 bits, and this would be represented as an integer, okay? Or if you use 64 bits, this would be represented as a long in Java, okay? And this bitwise operation that you see on the next slide for the AND and the OR, they will be bitwise operation on integer and bitwise operation on longs if you want to use packets of 64 bits. So valid tuples is represented using bitwise operations as mentioned before. Okay, and so if you've got all the support, this is the way you compute valid tuples using bitwise operations. Once you've got the valid tuples, you can also do the filtering, okay? To filter a specific value v from the domain of xi, you just need to check if there is some intersection, some non-empty intersection between this bit set and the one of valid tuple. If you've got a non-empty intersection, it means that this value v is still supported, okay? It's still supported in the table, and so in that case, you do not remove it. On the other hand, if the intersection is empty, you can safely remove this value v from the domain of xi. let's look at one example of filtering. So this is my valid tuple, okay, valid tuple bit set here that I've got here. And as you will see, I can safely remove the value 5 from the domain of z, y, and x. And this is the case because if you do the bitwise check to check if the support here, the intersection with valid tuple is empty, you can remove it from the domain of x, y, and z. So let's take z first. The support vector for z5 is this one, okay? Again, you see that I've got a bit set to 1 here because I've got a 5 here, okay? I compute the intersection with valid tuple. You see that the intersection between this bit set and this bit set will be 0 everywhere. And so the intersection, it means that the intersection is empty. Why? Because you see that I only got a 1 here. So if you do the intersection here, it will become a 0. And so you can safely remove the value 5 from the domain of z because the intersection is empty. Same for y. Again, this is a bit set for 1 for the variable y and literal with value 5. Okay, you've got a 1 here because you've got the 5 here. When you will do the logical AND, it will be 0 everywhere, and so the intersection will be empty, and you can remove the value 5 from the domain of y. And you can see that it will be the same for the variable x. Again, you can remove this value 5 for the domain of variable x, because when you do logical bitwise, you will realize that the intersection is empty in this case. In the next video, I will explain how to update the valid tuple in case of the removal of some values in some of the domains of the variables.